Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today, the big story is we're casting a game on Monty Hall. As this current SSL season is beginning to wrap up, Monty Hall is going to be exiting. The odds of this map being back in a map pool is very, very low. It is not a very well-balanced map. It's an insane map, right? We had... how long? Something like 16 years of Monty Hall not being played until it came back this season. I think you can expect a very long time to possibly never again seeing the map. So I'm like, you know what? Let's mix in a little bit more Monty Hall. I don't feel like there's you can't really copy build orders from this map or anything like that, but at least it makes for some interesting, very different looking games. So, looking at the players, this is Light, this is Sacsri, so a very, very good match on the map. As far as the way that this will go, it's like really hard to predict because so much of it, I feel like, comes down to what side you're building things on. So we see this is going to be a forward barracks way over here, and Sacsri's expanding on this side. I feel like this is the side that we have expansions on so often. And you can see Sacsri actually has this optimized perfect. Mine those minerals and turn into a hatchery right at 300. But that's going to allow a lot of pressure coming out of this barracks. And it looks like Light going up towards a factory as well. So a little bit nervous here for Sacsri. If he had chosen a different side, what do you get done with this barracks? Like, maybe you just have one Marine and you deny mining out until mutas are made, right? Like that, something like that could occur. Looking up at Light's main base, just getting that gas going. He will be getting a factory. Kind of wondering whether or not we're going to see like a Wraith build here, or is this going to be something more akin to float a factory, pop a Vulture over the minerals, maybe one Wraith, expansion, that type of thing. It's really hard to say. And Sacsri actually comes up and scouts this right away. This is how common this has become in the games that we have seen on Monty Hall. There's been a lot of forward barracks play like that. And Light, those little legs, it's doing double time. It looks like almost like a military walk. He's going awfully damn fast for just a walk, isn't he? But he is coming down for the attack. This is kind of cool. I've never actually done this before in Fallout Marine. It's actually, the graphics are really, really good. Oh, and okay, so while I was watching that, Light does the block, and this is like a very, very smart block. You throw the depot down, and they can't get through that hole that they made. And now suddenly we are very close to having a bunker up. Oh my god. Okay, well, this might end up being a bad game. There's certainly a non-zero possibility to that, as this bunker rush is working fantastically. Overlord diving in, and he's going to see, well, it's one starport, one factory right now. Well, he doesn't see it yet, because he hasn't gone all the way in yet. But yeah, this is like a real problem. He is going to try to catch some of these Marines coming out. Okay, he will prevent any more Marines at least. But it's 3 Marines in a bunker. He has to save the hatchery. And he will save the hatchery, just to be clear. Hydralis Den on the way. Like, as soon as you run the Lings, you can't target the bunker. So as soon as you run the Lings in, oh my god. They're going to be taking the damage from the bunker. Because the bunker will self-target, but it will not target the hatchery over the Zerglings that come up to attack. So that's one way to take damage off your hatchery. So he comes up. That is not as many Lings as I thought we were going to see here. And now there's a Vulture as well. Okay, he is going to clear this pretty quickly, but the Vulture doesn't look very stoppable. Oh, 4 Hydras are on the way, though. Okay. So we actually have some units that can fight back against the Vulture. Now, Hydras without any upgrades, Vultures actually fight pretty well against them. You can kind of flick shot them. You kind of control the pace of the engagement, like if you don't just sit there. Now, obviously, if there's multiple Hydras, you can't really do it. But if like Vulture numbers are equal to Hydra numbers, the Vultures, again, before upgrades for the Hydras, do fine against the Hydras in small numbers. So Light continuing to try to get some harassment done. And that will get picked off. Wraith on the way, but there's already Hydras out, so we're not sure exactly how much damage is going to be dealt by this Wraith. Like, let's see, an Overlord here, Overlord here. These are kind of like randomly in the center of these aisles, not places that you would standard put an Overlord. A lot of times Overlords just naturally gravitate to the sides of the map or little ledges that they can float over, that type of thing. So this kind of like hiding in plain sight type idea of the Overlords is actually very smart. So see the Wraith? It's kind of going along the edge looking for this Overlord. And you can see the vision bubbles there, I guess. The vision circles from these two units. And he's looking for it. That's exactly what this Wraith is doing. He knows there's an Overlord around here somewhere. And he's having a very hard time finding it. Now, Light finishes up this command center. He's going to go ahead and mine out the minerals and then float over. I do love that for Terran on this map, that you can do this type of expansion. And, yeah, looking over at the other bases here of Sacsri, he's just getting Hydra upgrades and making Hydras. Like, he's making a lot of Hydras. This looks to me like it's going to be a 2-hatch Hydra all-in, but he has to choose the right lane to attack. Okay, so this Overlord going up, I guess he is going to be able to figure this out, but he needs to mine this out for the attack as well. And actually, okay, so this is turning into a dropship. And he does have Vulture speed on the way. So it's going to be a Vulture drop. There are some mines coming up. This is a really important moment for Light. Like, he needs these mines, actually. Like, they are going to have to eliminate some of the Hydras. Because the actual Hydra army that has been made is going to pound Vulture Wraith. Like, he's going to have speed and he's going to have range. You can see he's mining this out now. Setting multiple drones up here. Some mines being laid. Oh, might want to go up there and prevent this. Oh, this game might just be Light running away with it. If he denies this just for a little bit, like, he's going to see these Hydras like, oh, okay, you have range now, you have speed now. Pretty clear that we're going to see, like, an attempted Vulture attack. Goes ahead, drops these out. Now, they do have the speed upgrade, so the Vultures are going to be able to get some drones for sure. Already getting about 3. As soon as you pick one off, that is going to slow it down pretty dramatically. Oh, man, he's going to even slip up here and kill some more. This is pretty insane damage. Sacsri is in a terrible spot. Look at this, 36 SCVs against 19 drones only. But he has a ton of Hydras right now. Overlord speed on the way. That'll help him to get through mines. I wonder if he just goes directly into drop. I think one of the big problems here is if Light sees anything coming, I don't think he can lose to the Hydras. Right? He's got a ton of mines along this side. Has another drop coming in, so he's going to do some harassment, some more scouting there. So you can't really get up here via land. And then it's like, okay, you've mined out here. Okay, we take this hatchery, but this isn't mined out. So you might have to just go drops. It is Overlord speed first. Maybe we see drops right afterwards and he just goes for like a Doom drop type of scenario. That could make sense. One thing I would like to see is another patch mined out here, by the way. It's one thing I've definitely noticed. You have to be able to move your army really quickly back and forth against the big attacks that come in via things like mass drop. A couple more drones go down. Not a healthy place for Sacsri to be at, who is taking his third base. Lurker upgrade is coming. I think you look at this and you say, okay, it's a Hydra drop, obviously. Maybe Lurkers, maybe not. Irradiate on the way. I think Light he just has so much right now. You can see his supply way up above. Way more workers as well. Speed Overlord being pushed away. The dropship actually empty. It seems like he's just getting a bit of scouting. Like, okay, are you going hive? You're not? Okay, if you're not going hive here, it should be drops. I would think 100% drops at this point. Because there's no reason why you would not be getting a hive otherwise. Because Hydra Lurker Defiler is super, super strong. kind of a strange game we're looking at here. It feels like Sacsri, having taken the amount of damage he took in the early game, has basically just set up for a mid-game, like, one really strong move. I don't think you can fault him for it, because there was no real way for him to get across the map once the vultures denied the mining out of these mineral patches pretty early on. And that was obviously a great move from Light. But if you can't do that really early, it's probably best to just set up a very strong mid-game kind of all-in maneuver, which is exactly what we're going to see here. He's got the Overlord drops almost done. He's going to have to bring together basically all of his Overlords. Now, he is moving up the side. Okay, good thing he didn't get hit by those. And Light scans here. So he's trying to kind of keep track of what's going on. Some Irradiates go off on Hydralisks. Now, there's two things you can do. You can either split them off and let them die, or you can make eggs. Oh, and he just GG's. Okay, well... Oh, my God. Well, that was quite the miss. I saw the Irradiates over there and was thinking about that. Let's just jump back and see what this was, just so people can't say I missed it. I didn't miss it. We just watched it out of sync in time. Oh, Jesus. No wonder he GG'd. See, so he was busy looking at his Hydras over here that were clearing everything, and his Lurkers just ran into the army Light had. Okay, well, everything here was fortunate by Light, okay? Like, obviously, he played well and everything, but he proxied the racks on the right side. He got a ton of damage down here. His vultures came down and blocked the drones mining out. That was probably planned. As he did his drop, he laid a bunch of mines, slowed that down, and then his Irradiate on those Hydras drew attention to this side of the map for Sacsri, and he killed all the Lurkers, just causing a victory. Sacsri actually had an army that, controlled correctly, has a chance. It has a chance. I don't mind his idea here for how to try to come back. It's tough. Like, you know, these situations, like, you'll play them and you'll be like, okay, I'm dead almost every single time here, but sometimes you can pull it out. And what is the best way to try to pull it out? And I think that everyone thinks about that in a different way. It's like some people want to go all in as quickly as possible when they're pretty well behind. Some people set up for, like, this was a mid-game all-in, right? I've seen one of my favorite examples of a big comeback was Leda versus Action on Eclipse many seasons ago. I mentioned that recently, actually, where Leda just guessed everything Action was going to do for 5 or 6 moves in a row without scouting, right? But that's getting a little bit out there as far as the amount of risk. But when you're so far behind, you have to do stuff like that. Let me know in the comments below what you think is the best way to try to come back in these very tough situations. If you were a pro gamer, which way would you plan out a completely destroyed game such as this? Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry it wasn't the best game, but if every game's the best game, shit gets dull. All right. We'll see you next time.